Dan Olds here, and we're still over at Appro, and we managed to snag Steve Lyness. Steve, introduce yourself.
My name is Steve Lyness. I'm the Vice President of HPC Solutions Engineering for Appro. I've been with the company for the last 3 years. Came to Appro because I think that we have a particular advantage in high-performance computing that is well understood by our customers, but not maybe well understood by the entire industry.
Well, you know, that's the thing that you know, I primarily cover enterprise, but I'm doing more and more HPC, and that's the thing. Why should somebody go with Appro versus an HP or an IBM or a Dell or Cray?
So with larger tier 1 vendors, the thing that you get is whatever it is that they have on the shelf, right? So a large company like an HP is going to build a product that they think is going to meet a very large demand.
Well, the word they use is replicable.
Yes.
That it's a replicable opportunity, and I've heard that a lot in briefings because it goes to their bottom line.
But for them, if they make a mistake, or if they do something that doesn't really hit what a consumer, what the user needs, then it'll take them a year or more to be able to change direction and come out with a different product. Appro is very different. We come out with a product that we believe is going to meet the needs based on our discussions with our customers. And Appro has a large number of very smart people that understand HPC, understand the user environment, and we are usually very good at coming up with products that meet what the user is going to need. But even if we miss, or if we come across a specific customer, rather than force fit a product that we have into what they need, we listen to them and we will evolve our product into something that they really do need, right?
Well, you can live on a lot smaller niches. I was over talking to John Lim and looking at essentially your gamer system for financial services with the overclocking. That's pretty interesting stuff, and that's a niche play that's really important to that customer, but it's not somewhere that IBM or HP would ever play.
No, it's not.
They won't see the volume, and they can't sell it.
Right. It's not big enough for them, but it is something that we pride ourselves on because we can take the latest and greatest technologies, right? Things that are bleeding edge, and bring them out to the customer long before a tier 1 can. GPU is a very good example. We had GPU products on the street and large installations around the United States long before the tier 1s had come out with any product at all.
Okay.
So while they were bringing out their first product that was kind of mimicking what we had done, we were already evolving that product into a couple of other new products that even better met what our customers needed.
Like the 4 GPU box that we just took a look at.
The 4 GPU with the shared bus, the 3 GPU on dedicated buses, the 8 GPU system now.
Oh, really?
The 2U8 GPU for some of our Houston customers. Again, it's an evolution of the product, and we can do it with, instead of doing it over the course of 12 months, we can do it over the course of 12 emails.
I'm going to start trying to coin the term GPU-rific, so if you can start using that, that'd be really helpful to me.
No.
No? So what are we standing in front of here?
This is one of our flagship products. This is the Extreme X system.
The big box.
The big box. Well, it actually scales anywhere from a very reasonable number, maybe 100 nodes, all the way up into 4,000 or 5,000 nodes.
Really?
It's very fault tolerant, so we have different levels of system that we do with the Extreme X. It's all using our Green Blade chassis, which is very energy efficient, has a lot of built-in redundancy with hot swap power supplies and fan trays.
Okay.
But in addition to that, what we do with Extreme X is we have a lot of additional redundancy. So it's a managed cluster. It's a full end-to-end package, including the Appro Cluster Engine Management Suite. that runs on a head node that we can have in an active-passive redundancy. And that feeds down to sub-management nodes that can then in an active-active pair, again allowing for redundancy, manage groups of nodes below that, providing a scale-out three-tiered architecture that lets us build this thing and have it act. 128 nodes will act similarly to 4,000 nodes, right? Because you have that second tier that scales with the computer.
Wow. How big a system do you guys have out there? What's your biggest?
For Extreme X?
Well, yeah.
It's probably about 1,000. About 1,000 nodes, I think.
Okay.
Now, the nice thing about Extreme X also is it can have redundant InfiniBand and redundant Ethernet for the operations.
Okay.
So we can actually have a complete network failure, but the networks can be entirely redundant. So it has a high availability aspect to it. The software that manages it, which is the Appro cluster engine, does a number of very important things. It actually allows us to run diskless, which increases the resiliency of the system, right? It increases the mean time between failure. Also, it does a lot of very interesting management features like operating system provisioning, configuration management of the operating system.
Okay.
BIOS,
so just a full suite
BIOS
of
checking, BIOS updating, node health.
It'll flash the BIOS?
It will flash the BIOS.
Really? Okay.
It will go, and I mean that's one of the biggest problems that we've seen in large clusters. You can have 1,000 nodes and have one node that has the wrong BIOS level, which will make it misbehave, and it will
in really weird ways.
Yes, and the entire cluster is only the job that's running is only as fast as the slowest node that's running, right?
Yeah.
So one node can bring down the performance of the entire cluster. And it could be as simple as a BIOS. ACE will allow you to look and see what all the BIOS levels are and even go in and update them. Update the BMC firmware, update the firmware on the InfiniBand cards.
It's a lot of stuff. Very good.
Very powerful.
Well, very interesting. Yeah, I really appreciate the time.